is 5 for where I am. We are live. Okay. Hello, 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 chat world. Wow.
Oh, wow. All of a
Right.
sudden, eight people. That's
Right.
crazy.
That just kind of popped in 9, 10. Welcome,
Yeah. That's
everybody.
you never know how it's going to go with these lives. Like yesterday with Sturge and I, we had to sit there for a while before even one person came in. And I don't know what the deal was because that doesn't happen very often. It usually sometime within the first few seconds, somebody comes in.
Right.
But
I think I was in there were under 5, maybe under 10 people when I popped in.
yeah,
And that was like,
it was.
y'all had already started. So, it's a little
Yeah, it was
strange.
really weird yesterday. I
Uh,
don't know. I don't know if it was just us or if it was kind of a widespread thing. But
right, right.
anyway,
No.
now that we've got 10 people in here, I guess, or 11 people now, we
11.
can
Yeah.
go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. I'm Brendan Elridge, and I'm here with OnyxRose.
OnyxRose.
And so to give a little background before we get started, I talked to OnyxRose in December before her facial feminization surgery.
Right.
And then I talked to them right afterward and to give an update on how she thought it went and how she was feeling and everything and what the expectations were, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so now that it's been almost, is it 6 months or almost 6 months? Close to that.
So let's see. It will be 7 months, I think, on the 11th of next month. So
Okay.
it's December
So,
11th, right? Was the surgery date.
yeah. Okay.
No.
So before we get into all like how things have gone and all that kind of thing, do you want to give like a brief overview for those who don't understand
Sure.
what facial feminization surgery is, FFS?
Okay. So, and I was listening to you at the same time, looking for my list of the procedures I had. FFS is facial feminization surgery. It is something that trans women, non-binary people who lean femme, or just anybody who wants facial work done on their face. It's called, for trans people, it's called facial feminization surgery. For cis people, it's called plastic surgery, or like something like that. In other words, like for trans people, we have to have 2 notes and like someone's like blood to get this surgery. But for cis people, y'all can just be like, here, I just need this. But my surgery, FFS, is a set of procedures. It's not one surgery. It's like 8 or 9 procedures, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. I can be broken up in certain ways. I had, I think, 9 procedures done within a 12 and a half hour time. So I got to the hospital early in the morning. Egg dropped me off, eggy salad. And then she left, and they started work. My surgeon, Dr. My surgeon at Radiance Surgery, Doc. OMG. Hold on, y'all. I can't do that. Oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Oh God.
I don't remember. Well, I
Dr.
mean,
Wynn. I'm sorry, Dr. Wynn.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
now that
Dr.
you
Wynn.
say it, it sounds familiar, but I wouldn't have remembered it.
Right. Like I don't know why I can't, like Dr. Wynn. Anyway, yeah, so Dr. Wynn at Radiance Plastic Surgery in Atlanta, Georgia. He was my surgeon, and they do just plastic surgery. So they do a lot of work on people in the celebrity industry that are located in the Atlanta area, and also for FFS, for trans people for people who come into town. Luckily, he is in my town, so I didn't have to make a journey out of town, and I got to save on the expenses of having to
Yeah,
travel out of the city or out of state. No,
yeah. So
no.
you did mention something that I don't remember hearing before, something about the blood, like when you get plastic surgery, you don't need like Um,
So I kind of threw that in there as a joke. Like, so
oh,
yeah, that was a joke, and I'm sorry. That's just my humor because
oh, I missed it. I guess
the
it
prevailing
went over
like
my head.
well, the thought is not the thought, the understanding in trans communities is that we have to have all of these letters, meaning we have to go to a psychologist and a psychiatrist. They have to evaluate us for mental stability, and we have to actually pay for 2 letters. So in order to get 2 letters, we have to have at least two, sometimes most of the times at least two sit downs with a psychiatrist. Those sit
Okay.
downs are usually about $150 an hour. The letter that they have to write is usually $150. So right there, we're spending, $300, $450. That's
Yeah.
just to get one letter. So when we say that, it's because it's kind of like a racket, in the sense that, cis people don't have to worry about, like I'll just use a relative of mine. A relative of mine wanted a reduction. She didn't have to get a letter from a therapist or a psychiatrist.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
just like, yeah, I just want a reduction.
Yeah.
But for trans people, we need 2 letters and like all of this proof that we're mentally aware of the fact that we're going to do this. It seems to be really strange to me.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known that.
Well,
That's that's interesting.
um,
So, we talked about before you went in surgery, kind of what your expectations were and everything. And I was surprised that you weren't all that nervous going into it. It didn't seem like leading up to it. I mean, I'm sure there were some nerves, but
right.
from what you were saying, it wasn't like as bad as maybe you would have expected.
So I, I have, I've seen people who had worse case scenario, really,
Right.
really bad. And so that was what I was preparing for. Um,
Yeah.
I wasn't super nervous because I had prepared for the worst. I had expected going in that it was going to be the worst pain I had ever felt in my life. Um, so I had gone in expecting that. And I was ready for that. The first 72 hours were the worst, not that I've ever felt. The last 24 hours of that 72 hours was really bad, but once again, not the worst I've ever felt. So I think in a lot of ways, preparing myself mentally in in the months leading up allowed me to not be as nervous,
Yeah.
and understand that the pain, maybe I psyched myself out on the pain level, and it really, it's not that the pain was not there. It was there. It just was not as extreme as I thought it was going to be.
Right. Yeah. Because you went
Yeah.
on live not long after you got out of
Right.
surgery. I think, the group that we were involved in on Signal and with Wendy the Druid and everything, I think we were all thinking she's going to be out of commission for a while,
Right. Right. Yeah.
but
I remember that. And I
it was
came
just
back
like a
pretty.
few days.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. Like, I had the swelling, and that was pretty much it. I had swelling and stitches and some blood, and some places that had come apart at the seams. And that's kind of funny when I say that my face came apart at the
Right.
seams, but
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of literal though.
Right, right. But it all in all, I it's kind of funny because when I woke up, I told the first thing I said to Egg was like, I'm happy. That's it. That's it.
Hmm.
I don't need anything else. Now I'm contemplating another surgery, but I don't need anything else. I am so wholly satisfied, with my results, that anything that I could say that I'm not satisfied with is just so I can say something. You know,
Yeah.
just so I
If
could say
being kind
something.
of picking something apart.
Right, because there's not really anything that is negative. My experience was 100% positive. Okay, so 99.5% positive. The other part of the percentage point is the hospital itself was in a smaller town, so more. I shouldn't say uneducated because that is not it, but and not uninformed because that is not it either, but
Backward
unwilling,
thinking.
backward thinking, yes, unwilling to. This was the same hospital that Wendy went to, so she knows.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember you.
yeah,
I've heard her talk, relate a few of her experiences there, and I've heard you
right.
talk about some of yours too. So
Yeah, same type of thing. A lot of dead naming, not dead naming, misgendering because they didn't have my name. Um, I don't think, but yeah, misgendering.
yeah.
So and it was kind of funny because I was like, okay, y'all, and I even stopped everybody. They were getting ready and doing all the things, and I stopped them and I was like, please do not misgender me, blah 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 blah. And as I was going to sleep, I heard all the misgendering. But then I woke
Mm,
up and then fine. But so for the hospital, I would give like a B because of the misgendering. But like literally everything else in the hospital was perfect. You know, everything. So maybe an A minus. I don't know. Misgendering, a patient who's coming in for facial feminization surgery is kind of rough. But
yeah, to me that's kind of blatant. I mean, they know what you're coming in there for, and to do I don't know. That's pretty in your face, basically. I think.
right. Yeah. Like that. I think it's because of the location in Georgia that the hospital is. It's just how it's going to be. I mean, it is in a place that is very red. Very red. Not
Yeah.
even. It's just red. So unfortunately, that comes with the territory, and it's not like I should expect it. I should never expect it, and I shouldn't accept it. But at that point, I was in their hands. So I was in my surgeon's hands. Dr. Wen. Let me make sure I say his name again. Dr. Carson Wen, Huy. Let me make sure Huynh with radiance. Discover radiance. I'll put that in the little thing.
And Omics Intel says it shouldn't matter. Do your job.
That's
It
true.
it shouldn't. The beliefs and all that stuff. Any politics should be set aside. They're there to do a job and to treat patients, and that's what they should be doing.
You know,
All the other stuff.
I wish that every doctor, nurse, hospital staff, da 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 da, thought like that because the people in the positions to take care of the patients, not all of them think like that. As seen by a lot of Black women who give birth or and almost lose their life, and this is still happening to this day. So the hospital system and the people who not the hospital system itself, but or the medical teams, unfortunately you can't fight bias and that's or
Yeah.
prejudice or racism. It's insidious, it's built into the system, and along with it comes the people who are educating and taking care of us. So it's just we've got to fight to find a way to change that, but that's not the point of this conversation.
Right. But no, but I mean, it does connect. I mean,
Right,
it is part of your whole experience. So
right.
um,
uh,
I think it's worth talking about. But
yeah.
so overall, though, you're happy with your results.
I overall am happy with my results. I gained a lot of weight really quickly because of medicine that I had to take, like a psychiatric
Oh,
medication.
yeah.
And so, like, you can see my scar right here, but it makes it look like it's a double chin. It's really my scar that goes, and I do like it though, because I can feel it also right here. Um, and I've got a titanium plate right here and a titanium plate right here, and my head is still numb, which is fucking crazy too. It's
Oh,
been numb since surgery. Um, and actually, the sides of my face are numb. I don't ever know if they'll ever, like, sensation will ever come back. So,
That's what I was about to ask. Have they talked to you about that? Whether that's something that could be permanent?
so yes, I knew going in that I could have some sensation loss. It is. I won't say it's common. It does happen.
Hmm.
And that's okay. Like I went in knowing that it could happen, and I don't mind because, like, honestly, when my hair is being done, it hurts. So when
Right.
egg is doing my
Yeah.
hair, I can't feel it. It feels fine. But yeah, no, I
Well, I guess that could be a benefit.
it because she's rough. But no, for reals though, it doesn't hurt. Like I I assume it'll come back. The sensation will come back soon or at one point. But if it doesn't, I don't mind. I don't necessarily need it to come back.
um, Emma Steele asks, how long ago was the surgery? So it was December what,
December 11th.
15th,
December
11th. Okay.
11th. Yeah, December 11th. So yeah. So in regards to FFS, it was not that long ago because FFS, some physicians really do like hard and heavy work. I did not. My physician, Dr. Wynn, did not do heavy-handed work. As in, there are some doctors that do a lot of trans women, and especially a lot of Black trans women. If you go to this particular doctor, you're going to come out and you're not going to look like yourself. Uh, and that is something that a lot of trans women, especially Black trans women, have to like get used to after the fact, is that they can't see their old self, and you know they're not used to this new look. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a disconnect almost. I didn't have that disconnect because my features didn't change drastically, but they changed enough to where I felt more feminine and the changes are softer, and my
Yeah.
face is softer too. So I like that. That's just like it's just the right amount of banging on my forehead, and pulling out bones in certain areas, shaving down bones. The one thing that didn't work as well as I'd like was the fat grafts. I had fat grafts and they were supposed to go like right in here, and so I do have like discolorations here and like kind of bags, which I do cover with concealer.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so but I look kind of like a raccoon without concealer. I will have to see if I can get something done with that in the future. But once again, that's vanity and not necessarily needed. Like I felt like I needed FFS, like on the outside, on the backside of it. It's a little bit different, but that's because I had the surgery. If I was still waiting, then I would probably feel like I needed it. And this is not something I took lightly. I started looking at FFS in 2014. Um, and yeah, seriously looked at it in 2014 to the point where I was having um, consults with surgeons, but I just
Yeah.
didn't have the money, couldn't get through with it. So, and then for 2 years prior, um, something would happen. Like one time I didn't have the money, one time we just decided not to go, not to do it. And so it just so happened that in my local support group, I saw there was this woman who went to Dr. Wen, and she looked stunning. She was 2 weeks out, and she was stunning. So that was I kind of flipped through his books to see kind of how the looks he did. He didn't have a lot of looks like shown online, and the stuff he had was not super impressive. But I'm in talking to him. He put me at ease to begin with, but more than himself, the surgeon was the surgical team. And let me just shout out Min H. And her name is spelled, or their name, I'm sorry, their name is spelled I Muhn Muhnh. Let's see, Muynh. Okay, men. Yes, and men with radiance, plastic surgery, radiance surgery. She or they, I apologize, are the queer outreach for the company.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I called, they were the first person I talked to. They took me all the way through the journey. They are the person I have contact with when I go back to see Dr. Wen for follow up appointments. They gave me this cute little, and I know it's a little cheapy thing, but it's cute. It's this little peacock mirror. It's a compact mirror that pops open. Yay. And so, little treats for me to do my little makeups. But yeah, men specifically was amazing. They helped with my insurance when insurance was being a big pain in the ass. They
Oh,
really
surely not. Insurance pain in the ass? Never heard of that happening.
right. So they fought for me. They went to bat for me and really made sure that insurance knew that it was medically necessary, because that's what they were trying to do, was make it so that it wasn't medically necessary. Insurance
Yeah.
was, but the thing that the thing that cis people maybe can't understand about trans surgeries, unless you put it in something to like where, oh, I really needed hip surgery, so I had to have it.
Right.
It's kind of like that. I needed this. It was something I needed. It wasn't, and people, I don't know if people think it's vanity or what, but it's more ease. It's like a sense of ease. Um, like like looking at myself right now is the face I should see.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not it's not something that's so far away from my old face, but it's not something that is my old face. And
Yeah.
that's what I appreciate.
So, you've you're happy with the results overall, and what difference do other people, like, if like your parents or other people that know you, what do
Right.
they see? What have they said? What's their reaction?
OMG, I've gotten nothing but great reactions. That's
Oh,
I like
that's good.
so I like people like to blow smoke up my ass. I think a lot, I think that I get a lot of compliments, and it embarrasses me, but I do like it at the same time. I try not to let it get to my head. Um, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah. I'm the same way
they
when it comes to any kind of compliments. I don't I don't like to get them, but
right.
in some ways I do. You know what I mean?
Well, it's validating, but at the same time, it's super embarrassing, and like
Yeah, yeah,
but so my the big thing that I get is the nose. Everybody seems to like my nose. It's cute and it's like a little poop. And I like my nose a lot too. The thing I don't like the most is my chin, and that is probably because the weight that's been put on. I can't see the
yeah,
definition in it. It's a little bit more rounded than I'd like, but I think without the weight, it would be a little bit more narrow, and that would be fine. Everything else, like, is amazing. Like, I like the fact that you can't see, like, there's a scar that runs along here, but you can
yeah,
barely see it. Like, you probably see it here better. So this is where they like went down and all the way through here and then just like peeled the face back. I like that my scar is not, it's not that noticeable. I thought they were going to like have to cut through my hair. They didn't have to move any of my hair. Well, some of it, like a little bit's growing back, but I like the fact that he shaved the bone here. So my forehead is not protruding as much. There's this like area right here, especially on people assigned male at birth, that have like a
right.
bone ridge structure right here, and this was kind of blasted down for me, so it's not as protruding and not as noticeable. Yeah. So all in all, I love it. I had a lip lift, so I love my lip. It kind of pops up a little bit, and it's the philtrum is lower than on a person assigned male at birth would be. Yeah, so and I do have a scar that runs like right here, but it's disappearing pretty quickly too. So yeah, I do use like Scar Away or whatever. I
Oh
don't,
yeah.
yeah, I don't use it as much as I should. Um, I've kind of stopped using it now, but I'll probably have to go back to it because I want to fade some of the scars because I have some on my ears like right here as well, on either side, where they like yanked the face up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's any different in person, but just from on video, I can't see any of the scarring or anything. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean, I think it looks great.
Thank you. The scars are actually really minimal, for the amount of surgery I had, the scarring. And Dr. Wen was telling me this the whole time. He was like, "Don't worry about the scarring; it will not be that bad." And I could not believe him because I have
Yeah.
seen people with like really bad scarring, just like really
Yeah.
bad. And it's a testament to him and his artistry that he was able to, like, first of all, say that there was not going to be any scarring, like any significant scarring, and then go ahead
Right.
and back it up, by
Yeah.
doing it. So like he talks the talk and walks the walk, you know. Uh,
Yeah. Saying it with such certainty I would I would think that'd be like, are you sure? Do you really know what you're talking? Because
right, right.
I've seen stuff.
Right. It's just like, and I'm in groups, like I'm in FFS groups, and girls are like, I just can't believe it. I'm already in a situation with a girl right now who's just like, oh my God, I don't recognize myself and I look like a monster. And she's like 5 days out.
Oh,
And
wow.
of course she looks like a monster. Like, seriously. Like, I'm not gonna say she does to her, but she looks like a monster. Like, her face is all beat up. It is a traumatic surgery.
Yeah.
So there is trauma. So the one of the big things is you have to give yourself some grace in the first couple weeks because it is
Yeah.
scary. Your face will look very scary. So
Yeah. Just
not
5 days out. I think you shouldn't expect
right.
too much.
Right. Yeah. It is. You people either go in not knowing enough or knowing
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I went in knowing too much, and knowing too much allowed me to kind of uh, expect the worst and get the best type of thing.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Um, um,
Yeah. I kind of tend to think that way too. Try to expect the worst of situations. It's like, well, if anything less than that happens, then I'll be happy with it. I won't be disappointed.
right.
So,
Right.
but so you were talking about being in an FFS group. I don't know how much you want to talk about that because I'm sure there are a lot of confidentiality and stuff involved with that. But do you feel any kind of guilt as far as because you look so good
Ooh,
and
yeah, that's a good
other people in
question.
the group may
That's a
not be
good
in that
question.
situation?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I'll tell you why. It's because, yeah, yeah, I do. I do. I actually have to bite my tongue a lot in these groups because, my surgery turned out really good, and
Yeah.
the healing is happening really quickly. And so, unfortunately, I would say, and I don't know, this is just a wild guess, so I'm not sure, but like 40 to 60% of FFS surgeries, people are going to want something to follow up with,
Oh
like a,
yeah.
a touch up or a revision. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I don't need that. And in not needing that, I have to realize that. that puts me in a position to not, to kind of bite my tongue, where I need to not be like, well, this is how it's done. I can't really do that because I don't have that experience. And, it's not my place to say that. I can tell them how my experience went. But, to, it's just not my place to be like, well, your shit sucks and you need to do this. But sometimes I'm just looking at them, and there are particular surgeons that I know, like, that charge people just out the butt, that don't do good jobs, especially
Yeah.
like for different ethnicities. Like there's one surgeon who charges a lot of money, does great work on fairer skinned people, but black, darker skinned people, he does not do a good job on at all. And it's just, and people pay top dollar to go to him. So, and in these groups, I have to remember to bite my tongue because there are also representatives kind of lurking in these groups as well.
Oh,
They
yeah.
happen to find their way in.
Yeah.
So like we have to, like, I have to be careful what I say, um, in any kind of disparaging way.
Right. Well, you're also different than a lot of people because you decided to have all of these different things done at once. I remember you talking before
Right.
about, like, because you could choose to have just the forehead done, and then go back and do whatever, all the different
Right.
pieces of it, basically. But
Right.
you decided to have it all done at once. And
So
I think I probably would want to do that too. I don't know. I
yeah.
mean, it would be that would be a hard decision because I would think I'd probably want to do just one aspect and see how that went and be like, you know,
That
but having
yes,
it all done at once and be like, okay, it's all or nothing, I guess.
that is
I
the
don't know.
gamble. That's the gamble,
Yeah.
and that is where people are. That is so there are two. Well, there are several camps, but the two big camps are, we're going to do the bony work and then the other work next. So the bony work
Mm,
will get done first, and then we'll wait like 6 to 8 months to let that heal, and then we'll go in and
right.
do everything else. Um, I am of the opinion of, like, let's get it all done. But yeah, that lends itself to less wiggle room in terms of mistakes. If
Yeah.
you do split it up, then there is a chance that you can go in and do a little bit more, and you do have more room for error. So yeah, it was like a throw of the dice. Let's get it all done at one time, and hopefully I won't have to go back in at all, because honestly, I don't have the money for it. Surgeries are expensive.
Yeah.
I mine was cheap because it's inpatient and I had hit my out of pocket maximum. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it was around $8,000, $9,000, and that's what I had to pay. Like what the grip that they got was like close to $60,000, $70,000.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap. And for up until only recently, has insurance been paying for it. It used to be that insurance didn't pay for any of these surgeries, so people would pay for it themselves. And I don't know how you come up with like $60,000 like that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
people used to. Yeah, people used to. It's a lot of, that's where street work and sex work for trans people is so prevalent. One, because it's
Oh,
as a
right.
means to survive, because nobody wants to hire trans people. Everybody thinks trans
Yeah.
people are shit, and also it's a way
To
to
make money
cover
for a
surgery.
surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well,
Well, that would make sense.
well,
Yeah, and I would imagine that getting a bunch of different surgeries, going back and getting a bunch of different surgeries would probably cost more overall than doing it all at once too.
it
I
would
don't I
cost
don't know if
more.
that works that way.
I think it would cost more, and the cohesion of the face, I don't think would be there. Like if you did one here and then one there and then one there, it would, like, in terms of the overall symmetry and look of the
Yeah.
face, I don't know if it would be there. Maybe it would, because people do that all the time. I just felt that in order to get like one whole look, it would have to be done all at once. Um, by a doctor who's a surgeon whose hands were, yes, clinical, but also artistic.
Yeah.
He's an artist, and that was important to me. That he did recognize the fact that, yes, he is an artist as well. And he mentions that, and he makes that known. And that to me, I mean, because I hold art above art, and writing poetry and all this stuff above all else. um, and that translates into beauty too. So I was very happy. Yeah, I can't get over it. I'm very happy. Yay.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you, and
Uh,
I'm glad it, turned out well.
uh,
And Egg, how does she was happy with it
so
all? And
OMG, Egg, yeah. So like Egg, so the first thing I told Egg was, like, I said, listen, I don't care what you do, I don't care how I look, I don't care what you think. The first thing I want you to do is take a picture of me the minute you see me. So she did. That was the first thing she did. Like, she said she was scared and like disgusted, and because I looked like
oh yeah,
you do look like a literal monster. Like, I looked like I had been beat the fuck up, because I had,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
they ripped out of my face and like destroyed my bones. So yeah, I was beat the fuck up, and I was all swollen and couldn't talk. And but she was great. She, like, I had to stay at the hospital that night, and then later the next day, the surgeon cleared me. Dr. Wins cleared me, and I could go home. So we came home, and Egg had to help me out of the car and into the house. Because I couldn't see. My eyes had swollen shut by then.
oh, right.
So I couldn't see for a couple days. Which was kind of trippy. Like, I can't really see with my eyes anyway, but I really couldn't see. I was actually blind. So that was
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. But she did everything. She's been my nurse for all of my surgeries. So, and she had a little bit more help during this surgery than the surgeries prior. But she was a trooper. I can't say anything negative about Egg, because like, who else is gonna just sit there and like take care of someone throughout all these fucking surgeries? Like, like, part of transition and part of transition, and I will say it for me, I can't say for everybody, but it seems like it would be, if you're transitioning medically and you are with somebody, your partner, as the transitioner, like, I'm just going to be more selfish. And it's not, it's purposeful. It's a purposeful kind of selfish. It's selfishness because I'm trying to get to a place where I'm okay with myself, so that way I can be okay for her. It's all about, the selfishness is about making sure that I stay alive long enough and thrive long enough so that she can also stay alive and thrive.
yeah,
No. she
yeah.
she she's seen a lot of the surgery stuff. She would be very happy to never see another surgery. I have hit my out-of-pocket maximum, I will tell you now. So since I've hit my out-of-pocket maximum, and I did it so quickly, I have until January 1st of next year, and I am. I was thinking about another surgery, so we'll see.
So you think you can hang on till then?
Well, I think I'm thinking, honestly, I'm thinking about breast augmentation. I'm thinking about getting a
Oh,
boob
okay.
joint. a small boob job, like just a little bit, a little enhancement, but and that's because it would be cheaper. Like I can do it in state and city, and yeah. And but I have to think hard about that. I don't know. It's like the only thing that's really stopping me is the money aspect. Do I really want to pay this?
Yeah.
Egg is about having to get them changed every 10 years, but that is old news. You don't have to get them changed every 10 years anymore. So,
Oh yeah.
um, which I thought I did. I thought I would have to. So that's really what's held me back. And also, I don't need like I'm a B cup. I don't need any more, but I may want a little bit more. I don't need any more. That is just a vanity project in and of itself. Uh, let's see. Do I do laser and electrolysis? Yeah, Sammy, I did do laser and electrolysis. So yeah, I grow hair right here and right here, and that's it. And the rest of my hair is gray. And I grow a little bit right here. The rest of my hair is gray, so laser doesn't touch it anymore, which is fucked up. I have a lifetime laser package, but it doesn't touch gray hair. It
Really?
only it doesn't
I've
touch
never
gray
knew
or
that.
red. Yeah, it doesn't touch gray,
Really?
silver, or red. It'll touch black, brown, maybe some light brown, but no gray, no red, no silver. So like the
Huh.
elect yeah. And people think that laser is a way to kill hair completely, but it's not. The only
Right.
approved method for killing hair is electrolysis. And that's where they go into each follicle and zap it at the root and kill it. And so, hair grows in cycles. So you have to catch each cycle as it comes. That's why electrolysis takes so long and is super expensive. Because I think I've paid like between $10,000 and $12,000 so far for electrolysis and laser. Yeah, that's expensive. Yes, I mean it's expensive. Electrolysis is expensive and it's painful. It's super
Mhm.
painful.
Yeah.
But I figure if I can handle that pain, I'm getting a couple tattoos right here. So I figure if I can handle electrolysis, I can handle tattoos on my neck.
Hmm.
Um,
Do you know
sorry,
what you're getting? I know that's
yeah.
completely off subject, but
I'm gonna get a rose, of course, because of OnyxRose.
oh,
I'll get
okay.
one
Yeah,
rose, and
right.
then I don't know what I'm gonna get over here yet. But then it'll tie back here because I'm actually I'm getting ready to do this whole project. We're shaving like my locks, not all off at all, but
Oh, okay.
on the sides and around the back because like this, my hair on the sides doesn't stay in my locks. Like in all this shit, like right here won't stay in my locks. So we have to re-twist it and
Oh, okay.
then shave
So
the
you're just gonna
sides.
take it off.
Yeah, shave the sides of the back, keep the locks, and reattach them to these locks. So it'll make them stronger and thicker. So I'd like to ideally like kind of make them like one lock like that thick. Um,
Oh, okay.
um, so vanity projects, yeah. So like right now, the only thing it is vanity projects. My shit is blinking. I'm not gonna move.
I
Okay.
noticed that. Just
Yeah,
I don't know what it was. It was like I don't know
it
what
was like
was.
a glitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
So I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna touch my desk because I think it's me. But yeah, so I cannot complain about anything. If I were to try to, I really there is no reason for me to complain. I mean, I know people who've had their face butchered. I know people
Yeah,
who like seriously butchered. So, um,
yeah,
the only thing I can complain about is the money. I'm still paying it off, and it's
right.
expensive. I mean, not expensive, but for me, it's expensive. Um,
Yeah,
I
it's all
was,
relative.
yeah. So, but I wish everybody could have the same experience I had because it when you get a good surgeon who actually cares about their patients, um, and is willing to discuss exactly what they're going to do and show them. Like I had Dr. Wynn show me 3 times how exactly what he was going to do. And once he showed me anything, he showed me an egg, and then my parents actually came, which was surprising. That was the beginning of the healing for me and my parents, was that they actually came to FFS consult before
Mm,
my surgery. So they actually
yeah.
had to talk with the surgeon. My dad is a surgeon, or was, not anymore. He was an OBGYN. And so he was happy to be able to talk doctor to doctor,
Yeah.
so they felt good. I felt good. Egg felt good. Everybody was feeling good. And, everybody was feeling good, and it didn't let anybody down. I think everybody was surprised. My parents were surprised. Like they came like 2 days at, well, 3 days after, something like that. No, 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days after, to see me. And we have this baby gate, like, that's blocking off the back rooms from the front rooms, because we don't want Nix to come past a certain point walking. Nix is our dog, our pug. And
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah, so, I was hopping over the gate, the baby gate, which can be a tragedy, because I have fallen on that. And now I'm scared. I have to be extra careful, because if I fall, I could like break my poor little nose. And I
Yeah.
can't do that. It's too expensive to break my nose. I don't want to get my nose fixed again. So,
So
plus, yeah,
are there more things like that you notice, like where you're feeling like you're a little more, you walk a little more gingerly, or like when you're outside on the sidewalk or things like that, where you're
I
like more careful than we used to be, maybe?
Yes, definitely. Definitely in the beginning, it's getting less and less so. But in the
Yeah.
beginning, yeah, it was definitely a thing. Like I was so nervous to go over the gate, because my legs are long. I've tripped over the gate many times before. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that whole thing. As a matter of fact, what we would do is we would just move the gate, put Nix in his kennel, and move the gate, and then like I would
Oh,
walk
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, I was stationed in the back room, on the bed with the TV, and I had a little bell that I could ring, and Egg would come, because I
It
couldn't
reminds me of one
yell.
of those. I don't know what it. I mean, I'm sure it's been on lots of movies and shows before, but the sick person in the bed or whatever uses,
Right.
and whoever it is that gets so frustrated, like, oh, that stupid bell again.
Yeah, that is exactly what was going on. By the
Yeah.
time the bell like stopped being rung, Egg was like, okay, that maybe it was a mistake that I bought this bell. But yeah, no, it was I've got to shout out Egg, first of all. I really should, because Egg has been my nurse, like I said, and she's been wonderful about it. I don't know, like, that's where the selfishness comes back in. Like, I don't know if the tables were flipped, if I'm sure I would try to be. Okay, I know I would try to be, but I would hope that I would be the same type of person to her that she was to me, if
Yeah.
she were to like transition, you know.
Yeah.
That like it's always strange. You never exactly know, how like someone would handle that. I know how I think I would handle it, but if she's transitioning to, however if she's gonna medically transition, then will I have the patience, the same type of patience she had, to be
Right.
like a nurse type of thing,
Yeah. Well, not everybody has that in their personality too. It's not just because you're in love with someone or whatever, but it's kind of a personality trait too. It's
right,
hard to
right.
overcome certain things.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's unfortunately that's where I don't, that's where I'm like transitioning as selfish for me. I will speak for me, because I I'm thinking about me always, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, she is in my mind, but you know, I'm thinking about me until now. Like right now I'm good, you know. Now I can kind
Yeah.
of, it's not that I've not concentrated on her, but I needed to get these surgeries. So since
Right.
2000 since 2018, since 2014 when I started looking, but since 2017 when I scheduled my first surgery, all I've been doing is surgery, 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 surgery. How do I, you know, how can I get this? And so now that I've come to the line where I can like kindly or, you know, probably just rest and take a breath, it's now time to maybe try and drop that focus of just me,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so I don't know. No.
So as far as going back to Dr. Wen, will you is are you like on a regular basis seeing him and having uh consultate or checkups and stuff like that?
Yes, yes. So yeah, Dr. Wen. So the last time I saw him was 2 months ago. I will see him in, well, let's see, 2 months ago. Yeah. So I'll see him in 3 months, 3.5 months.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, that's a pretty long gap then. So
yeah,
you're probably
yeah.
gradually
Gradually
weaning
weaning.
yourself off. And
Right,
yeah, right.
right. So like the next visit, it'll be like I said, 3 months, maybe 2.5, 3 months, and then after that, it will be one more visit, and I think I'll be done. Uh,
Oh, okay. Well, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I mean, you know, we are in the process. Me and Dr. Wen, me and Radiance Technology, Radiance Plastic Surgery, are in the process of filming a like a little. They're doing a zine. They're doing like outreach for trans patients, and they're doing it
Oh,
grassroots style. You know, so they're building up buzz, yes, for their company, but they're also trying to get trans people, you know, to understand that this is a safe place to go. You
yeah.
know, they won't be dead named. You know, they won't be misgendered because I was not misgendered or dead named at all. Not once, never. By anybody there. And you know, so they're trying to get this out. They're in that respect. I've been part of a video series that they've been making on trans patients that have had surgeries, and to that end, we started before my surgery in November and did a video, like a beginning video, and just did a beginning video, another video in December, and then did one right before my surgery, and then did one after the surgery. So I have one more or two more that we're going to do, where they do like a side profile, like side, you know, do 45-degree, 90-degree shots of the face, and then you know, a little bit of talking about what I felt was good, what I felt was bad, you know, blah 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 blah. You know, basically pumping up irradiance, which is good. You know, I have nothing but great news to talk about with them. So yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Do you know of any like documentaries that have been made surrounding FFS?
Documentaries surrounding FFS. No, no. I was gonna make up a movie. You know, the movie Face Off is like I was
Well,
actually
yeah.
that's what I would like all the way up until my surgery. I would post like little things like Face Off, you know, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what it was. But no, I don't know any documentaries of facial feminization surgery. That I did read a Substack. I read a lot of Substacks about people who had FFS and
Yeah.
a lot of Facebook posts and so on and so forth. But there was this one Substack person, the God, why can I not remember her name? Because she actually, this one Substacker actually got the hospital to allow her to film her FFS.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so that's a big deal. They went into the OR, the operating room, filmed the whole thing, filmed everything from the beginning to the end to after the healing and all of that. And so she has that whole documentary. It is not on Substack anymore because I went to check for the videos; they're all gone. But she
Oh,
was releasing them every time that they released one. So that is the only kind of thing I know like that of a
hmm.
documentary. Um, I could be missing one though. I don't know many for FFS. There are
Well,
there.
maybe you should reach out to Netflix and
Yeah,
tell them you've got all this footage and
I've,
everything.
I've got the details. Yeah, no, I really do wish that there was more information out there. Oh, and one of the good things, like, well, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I really do wish there was more good information out there about FFS because there's the information that's out there is the standard information.
Yeah,
There needs to be more of a like this is what you can do. This like more.
personal experience.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and to that end, you may be right. I do need to like put some more stuff out. I did do a write up for my one of my trans groups that pretty much for the state of Georgia. Um, they collect information. This group collects information for specific doctors and physicians, surgeons, so on and so forth. So I did do that. I did a write up for Radiance and Dr. Carson Wen for that. Um, but I think some more information needs to be out there, more personal information, especially good stories. That yes, this can be
yeah,
done, and it doesn't have to be hell. And maybe for a day or two, 3 or 4 or 5, but you can get through this, and it's the scariest thing. It's your face. So
yeah,
like
right.
it's super scary. It's people are going to see you, and it's one of the hardest decisions I've had to make in terms of like, okay, I've made the decision, I'm going to do it, but like, am I really going to follow through? Because I'm
Yeah,
scared. I was scared. Like I was scared that I was going to get botched, but the overriding feeling was I needed to have it done. You know,
right.
it was like I'm going to take this big old chance to where I could come out looking like Frankenstein's monster. But I got to do it.
Yeah,
And that to be in that position, is not like I wouldn't wish that on anybody. To be in a position
yeah.
to
I
where
mean, I
you,
can only imagine
uh,
that would just be. I would be so nervous, especially right up until like uh you remember like going on roller coasters and they'd have the chicken exit where like you could decide right up until the last minute and be like,
oh,
okay, I'm
like
not going on
no,
this.
right,
Yeah,
yeah. No, there that was never a thought for me, which is so funny. Like
yeah,
I once so the way it worked out, if you remember, for the people who may not remember or may not have like seen the beginning, I thought I was going to have FFS, and then all of a sudden it was canceled to the point where I didn't think I was going to have it. Me and Egg decided we just weren't going to do it. We were going to save up our money for Scotland in 2028. I was
mm,
at Voice Therapy when I got an email from Radiance Technology, Radiance Surgery and Aesthetic Medicine, plastic surgery. They said, "Congratulations, your surgery date is December 11th." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was freaking out. I was getting ready to go into voice therapy, so I had to send Egg a text, and I was like, "Please don't scream." I am shaking because I was literally shaking. I couldn't stop shaking. So I was making all these mistakes texting, and I was like, I can't scream in here, so I can't yell, but I've just been approved for FFS. It's a go. And then, like, within 5 minutes, Woody, who was my voice therapist, called me back there. And I told him, and he was really happy. And I was just freaking out. So, like, my voice therapy lesson was like a shitty lesson that day. But to go from thinking that I just am not going to be able to do it to, oh my God, this is fucking happening.
Right.
Like just like that was like it was kind of crazy. And from that point on, all I could do was think FFS.
Yeah.
It was like stuck in my brain. I was like, how am I going to do this? To and like I think one of the other things that I'm going to toot my own horn about is the fact that I kept everything kind of straight in my head because I've got like severe ADHD, ADHD, probably, and like, just like a lot, I have bipolar disorder and, it's like my brain, like I stuffed a lot of shit in my brain. I kept a lot of shit going. And, I think that I need to step back and give myself some credit. And
Yeah.
I glitched and holy shit. Yeah, I need to step back and give myself some credit. And that's bragging, yes, but it's also understanding that I went through it. It's another one of those trials that I had to go through, and I went through it, and I came out the other side, and I know it can be done. And I
Yeah.
know that other people can do it too. So I stand as a beacon, again, a light that says, yes, come on, y'all can do this. You know,
And you're probably stronger for it.
I am 100%. 100%. Yeah. Like for this whole journey, of transition, it has shown me so much, like, and shown me how to stick up for myself, shown me how to live. Because there was well, there's a point where I didn't think I was going to. So
Right.
it's informed a lot of my life. The last 11 years has been in active transition. So um yeah, it's it's great to think about it, and it's great to think that I could be done with the actual physical part of transition. I will never be done with the internal, the mental or the emotional part. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, there will
Yeah.
always be a person that I'll need to come out to. There will always be a person that says, you're not quite what I think you are. So there will always be that we'll have to contend with. So that
Right.
will never go away. But, in terms of me looking at myself and my life, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago versus where I am now, I have to really pat myself on the back. I
Yeah.
did it. I made it out the other side, and I think other people can too.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think
Uh,
you can be a light, or well, like you said, a beacon. I was thinking not motivation, inspiration to other people.
Yay,
Sometimes I
inspiration!
just can't think of words.
Yeah, inspiration and motivation, both.
Motivation, yes,
Uh,
yes.
uh, I do. I mean, just by me speaking anyway, I hope to be that. But then just in thought as well, I think that I lend to that experience. I'm not a person who has a lot of money. I just happen to find good doctors. I
Yeah.
the person I had my bottom surgery with, I would never have told anybody to go there. To this person, I went to this person knowing that I could probably be scarred for the rest of my life, and
Mhm.
went anyway. The reason I did was because my dysphoria was so bad, that if I didn't do it, I was going to kill myself. So,
It
I
just
did it.
needed to happen.
It needed to happen. And this is the person has sued two people that I know into homelessness. So, I can't really say much about who the person is.
Yeah.
But they are no longer practicing anyway. They had their
Well,
license taken from them.
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I've seen the bad. I've seen the really bad. I've seen the bad to the point where they just want to, just bad, bad. Um, But I don't know why I'm glitching like that. But I see the good too. I've seen great. I've seen people so happy and so ecstatic. And I'm one of those people who can say that too.
I was just going to say, and you look in the mirror and you can say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I never thought I would have, like it never really occurred to me that, I could be truly happy. Like I've been happy because I'm like I don't know, like I'm a happy person, I guess. Is what people will
I would say
say.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah. But like beneath that happiness is a not so happy person. But
Right.
that's getting better, that like not so happy person is leaving, and it's in direct effect of transition. People who say transition does not save lives are lying. Um, you know, transition absolutely saves lives, 100%. Detransition kills people if they
Right.
don't want to detransition. I mean,
Yeah.
if they don't want to detransition. So, yeah, I really I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I'm super happy.
I'm really glad. I
Thank
think
you.
that's great, and I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming on and talking through all that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure not everybody would want to. Some people would want to keep it kind of to themselves or whatever. But you've been very open with the whole process.
Yeah.
Before, right after, and you know the whole thing. So I appreciate that about you. I think it's helpful for other people to see that. So I'm glad you did that with me, and
Yeah.
um, I really appreciate it.
No problem. You're
Is
easy
there?
to talk to.
Oh yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah.
I've been told that by people. I'm
You
now
are.
there's one of those compliments. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh okay, yeah,
Well,
whatever.
yeah, but we've had this discussion before. You were definitely an easy person to talk to. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
Uh,
Um, so I mean, we're up a little past the hour. So is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
let me shout out and let me get this information right so I don't actually shout out anything that's wrong. As I would hate to do that, but it is actually Radiance Surgery and Aesthetic Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Carson Wen, Huynh. He is brilliant and an artist. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate Aggie Solid, who is my partner. She took care of me, nursed me, all that good stuff. Not in a partner way, y'all. Like in a nice way. And no, and I appreciate everybody who is giving me compliments, so on and so forth. And I appreciate you bringing me on both before, during, and after, so we could get like kind of a before, during, and after, like a trilogy type of thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So thank you. Yeah, it's been
Wrap
fun.
up the trilogy.
Right, right. It's been a lot of fun. No, but thank you. Yeah. Oh,
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming in. We had a good group and had at least some people stay till the end. You never know with some of there's some people that are just very quiet and don't say anything. So you never know about that.
right,
They could be
right.
just listening on their device in the background or whatever.
Well, I do
But
that. Like I will sit and
yeah,
turn
yeah. Well,
on
I do
live.
too sometimes.
Uh,
I'll just have my phone might be on the charger or whatever, and I've got my earbuds in. I'm doing stuff around the house and listening. So I
right,
can't. I'm not there to comment in the chats or whatever.
right,
But yeah.
right. I tend
So
to listen to a lot of lives. So like I caught
right.
y'all's. Well, some of y'all's yesterday, but I didn't see. I saw that there were three people. No, there was two. Like, was there a third yesterday for y'all?
With that, no, we just had us too.
That's what I thought. But then I thought I saw something that said three gay guys on Tuesday or three
Oh
Tuesday.
well, we talked about that, like maybe having a guest,
Oh,
especially
okay.
because like next week we're gonna take a break, and then
Okay.
the week after that we talked about maybe having a guest on, having 3 Tuesdays with 3 gays. So
Okay.
that was might have been one of those clips, or something like that.
Right. Okay. I think that's what it was. All right. Well, yeah. Let's see. I'm sure that we'll be seeing each other around the water cooler.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Behind the
definitely.
scenes, as it were. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks everybody, and you'll see us sometime later. I mean, we might be on Friday with Wendy the Druid,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to be on next Monday with Elijah Weston and Fiona Bridges. So we're going to be talking about music and connections and stuff. So
I am
if you
going
want
to
to,
be with Samantha, Sammy, and possibly Autumn Rose sometime next week or the week after, hopefully.
oh, okay.
Also with Eggy Salad this Saturday or next Saturday. Yep.
Oh, okay.
420. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Oh, if I can push the end button, that'll help. There we go.